RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Rational Investors Daily Brief. This is Julian reporting in from Bangkok, Thailand, as usual. Hopefully you guys had a great week. The market has done absolutely nothing. But at least Brian let me out of jail from last week. You know, we had to get rid of those. We had those amazing deals and they're gone now. So hopefully everyone that's listening got in on something. If you didn't, sorry, but not sorry. We sent out lots of emails, told everybody, big banners. Hopefully most of you got in on those deals. Anyway, I'm going to shrink myself. We're going to jump right into it. Lots of stuff to talk about today. Nothing much has happened in the past week, but a lot also has. Let me just move myself. No, not the screen. Let me move my face. Why am I not moving here? Okay, there we go. There, now I'm in my corner. Like that. And I want to do one thing here. Hold on, guys. Edit the transform. I want to get rid of a little bit. Right side. Okay. All right. Should be good to go. I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller. There you go. We don't need to see. Be very small there in the corner. All right. So looking up here, investor sentiment survey. What do you guys see? Bullish, 48.8%. Holy crap. The highest for the past year is 51.4. We're almost there. And 19.6 bear. Look at historical sentiment. Did we ever have a 19.6? I don't think so. I think this is the lowest. This is the lowest bearish sentiment we've ever had. So I went over this last week. I told you that we were already at an extremely low bearish sentiment. We were at 23.6%. And that likely, based on the sentiment, and what was going on in the market here, which let me adjust my chart a little bit so you guys can see this easily. I explained, and we'll go to the S&P, SPX 500, that the market was in a topping process. And you can see on this weekly chart, actually, look at this. Ignore this thing. We're going to go to a 3-day chart. It'll make it easier to see. Oh, I still have it on the 3-day chart. All right, we're just going to hide this for now. Visibility, weekly, and days. Let's just hide it. I mean, I want it. Let's put it on like a 2-week chart. All right, and then let's hide that. Put it on a 2-week. All right, so look at RSI and look at the price. So we've got a 7 that just came in. We're in my shorting zone. This red area is the shorting zone. We went a little bit above it, but RSI is way lower than it was before. Okay, we're creating what is called, obviously, a divergence. This is a divergence between price and RSI. RSI is much lower than price. And on a daily, you can see we're already breaking down. 12-hour, here's my 12-hour, right? Here's that clear breakdown. I think actually this is on a 4-hour. I drew this. Yeah, this is a 4-hour. See, to see this breakdown on the 4-hour happen right here. I'm going to make this a bit bigger for you guys. Here's your breakdown right here. And since then, we've done nothing except a stop run. That's about it. Now, if only 18 or 19% of investors are bearish, it's the lowest we've ever had, then what direction does the market need to go? The lowest print was back on August 2nd. So if we go back to August 2nd, what happened? August 2nd, right here. Here's August 2nd. Market started dropping. So the day before that, August 1st, is when the market just topped out and rolled over and had a big drop. How much was it? Let's see. Here we go. Price range. Right here. 6% drop before it finally rebounded. I wouldn't be surprised to see at least some kind of pullback here. Some significant pullback. There has to be. The market is people are way too complacent. I'm looking for a pullback at least into this support area at 4420, 4300, 4400 area. That would be the major support area that the market could go to before it makes its next high. actually, let's assume that that's what happens, right? So we would get this. We have AB. Now our pullback is to here, and that leads us up to 4,900. That's a potential scenario that could play out, but that's going to take a while, and we'll have more data by the time that occurs. Nice to see that basically the market stopped dead in my shorting zone here, 78.688 area. You can see with fibs, I'll draw them for you guys. This, yeah, like that. See, this is the shorting zone. Stop loss is above the previous highs. That's it. It's that simple. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask, by the way. Okay, so what else is going on? Let's get back to that was the first big glaring thing I wanted to show you guys. Crypto fear and greed also at a 74. This is the highest it's been in a long time. So we also want to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to get to that later. Forex factory, let's just check the news really quick. OPEC meeting all day. Core PCE price index already came out. So that was in line. No surprises. Unemployment claims basically came in line. No surprises there. Chicago PMI. Oh, that was an interesting print. Very high compared to the expected. Interesting. And then Friday, is there anything coming out? Canada employment change, ISM, manufacturing PMI. So this is probably the biggest one. And then, oh, okay, well, Powell's speaking. Wonderful. So tomorrow at around 11 a.m. Eastern time, Powell is going to do something to jolt the market. He's actually going to do it twice. Exciting, very exciting. So there's going to be shenanigans for sure. Let's look at the options. Did the options expect any crazy shenanigans? So we've got 45.50 is below 45.50 is max pain. We've got a huge amount of calls at 45.50. So ideally, to hit max pain, they're going to want to close the market around 45.50, 45.40, which means we'd want to pull back just a little bit. Just a little bit. That would give you max pain. Curious to see where the market could go next week. So next week is the 7th on Friday, the 8th on Friday. Let's go to the 8th. Okay, here's the 8th. So you can see again, we've got a lot of puts and not as many calls. Look at how many puts are here. This is crazy. The market's going to sit up here. It's going to go back to here. 45.50 is still max pain area. It could push over and keep going higher and fulfill all these calls, but I don't really see the point. Let's go further. Let's go to the mid-month. So this should be the biggest options expiry. I'm not sure if it's the 14th or the 21st. I think it's the 21st. 22nd, actually. Let's go to the 22nd. This should show a lot of options. No, it's wrong. Let's go to the... Let me check the actual exact date. 15th, yeah. So this is next month's monthly. Yeah, so this is the monthly. A good amount of calls versus puts. I could see them bringing this back all the way to 40.40, not pushing it higher. There are a lot of calls here. So this gives us a little bit of a view of what we could be looking at going into the future. How after next week, as we go into December, a pullback right here to 44.40 is actually expected in the options market. That's what would give you the maximum level of pain for options buyers. And normally, why does that happen? Well, normally because institutions, market makers, sell options to retail investors and things like hedge funds. And they want those options to expire worthless. So it's to their benefit to push the market in the direction. What did I do for Thanksgiving? I worked on Black Friday ads for TRI and marketing. Thank you for the question. That's really all I did. Nothing crazy. What did everybody else do for Thanksgiving? Anything exciting? Feel free to put in the chat and we can talk about your happy turkey days or what exciting things you bought on Black Friday. Or you can ask questions about the market. That's kind of what we're talking about here, right? Okay, so that's the S&P. That's kind of my viewpoint. I am in some short positions looking for a bit of a pullback down to this area, but I'm not looking for a massive, insane pullback. There is a possibility that we can go higher, like I showed you with that ABCD formation, it's a very real possibility that we could surpass the previous highs from January 2022 and head higher than that, just following this ABCD pattern that I laid out. So just keep that in mind. I'm just looking for a bit of a short-term pullback. We need to destroy that bearish, we need to destroy all the bullish sentiment. We need a pullback to get rid of those bulls before we can have another higher run. So we'll see. We have to watch how it develops as we get more data, can adjust the forecast. So okay, that's my viewpoint in the S&P. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I guess we can look at US dollar here. So US dollar kind of has put in a bit of a bottom and is reversing. You can see on my daily, we're pushing through this RSI trend line, and we're looking to start putting in a W. Tagging the 200-day moving average. This is going to be a significant resistance level. I don't suggest going long US dollar just yet. You want to see a W come in and then price to push through that, especially on the RSI. So price might pull back and then we can get a move higher. Until then, you're still kind of in bear territory. This is just saying that, okay, the huge bearish trend is slowing down and potential for a reversal is forming, but tread cautiously. Hello, Mr. Always Improve. Hello, Magic. Welcome, welcome. Oh, you guys are popping in here. Look at that. So, okay, so that's DXY. We can look at gold really quick. Gold's been interesting. You can see on a daily, we're also putting in a bit of a divergence. Interesting development here on gold. So gold's going to need to push quite a bit higher quickly in order to avoid this divergent issue on the daily chart. Let me actually get rid of some of these. I think this is a bit confusing looking. Let's clean this up. But this was my major resistance zone. You see how I have these red lines? So this is my next resistance zone. We just tagged it, and now we're getting pushed back. If we go to a lower time frame, you can see how RSI on a 4-hour is actually breaking down. Gold might be preparing to do, the US dollar is going to rally and gold will pull back. That's a very real scenario. We could have a pullback below 2000. If you consider this the M top, this would be your target down here in 1990. I could see it going lower down to 1980. So watch for that dip with gold, because that could be your potential buying opportunity. Keep in mind, you have to watch how the data develops and reassess on a daily basis almost. That's what I try to do when I'm in a trade. Just check every day or every other day to reassess what is going to happen, because every day you get more data, right? So you can adjust your theory. Yeah, it's always hard sitting on your hands, but luckily there's a million things out there to trade. So you don't have to trade just one thing. Okay, so that's gold, that's DXY. Thinking that we just get into crypto. I mean, I think most people are really interested in crypto, so we can talk about that and what's going to happen next for, oh yes, natural gas. I should talk about that. Look, I even have it in my tabs. I think it's a good idea to look at this. So natural gas had a significant breakdown on the weekly chart. It's extremely bearish right now on the higher time frame, but on lower time frames, it might be trying to put in a bottom. We have a 9 that came in here. So generally a 9 is considered a pause point, at least. Pause or reversal. With this kind of bearish trend, I would say more of a pause than a reversal, but it's definitely not looking good as far as momentum indicators are concerned. I've never seen UNG this low. On a daily chart, we do have a gap up here at 630 that it could bounce to potentially and then continue the downtrend. I need to see, you can see I already have an alert on this. I'm looking for this daily to create a W on the other side of this trend line. And then actually I'm going to potentially buy some natural gas positions for that potential rally. I'm really surprised natural gas has broken down this much, considering we are heading into a normally, I think, bullish period for natural gas where people will use it to heat their homes and stuff like that. Usually natural gas does rally, and you can see it rallied in January and February a bit, and then it took until all the way the next year before it finally rallied. It actually rallied in the summer. That was interesting in 2021. But you can see how natural gas can sit down here for a long time. Look how long we've been sitting down here. It's pretty crazy. It normally doesn't. Normally, natural gas does not sit for this long. Well, UNG is, I believe, the best way to play it. That's for United States natural gas. Oil, UNG Boyle almost hitting my down target here. Give me W's. Yeah, you got to wait for the W's. This is the breakdown to shake out anyone that went long and had stop losses at these lows. So it makes sense to take out this low. I'm just saying be cautious. It could go lower. This weekly chart looks really bad. This was a terrible breakdown that I did not want to see. And it's almost like this was a pause area, and now we're going to break down harder. But I don't see how much lower we can really go. It's not like this is some random company. This is natural gas. This is a resource. So yeah, I'm waiting on this W, and then I'll consider long positions, and that's what I recommend. You can't do anything until that happens. Got to kind of sit on your hands. Oil. You guys want to talk about oil? We can look at oil. Can do US oil. Better to do the futures. CL1. Actually, that's a really ugly CL. Crude oil. There we go. Not CL1. CL1 like that. That's what I want to see. All right. Monthly chart for oil. Monthly charts all over the place. Let's go to a weekly. So you can see how oil eventually hit my 4.669 target and 8.77. Isn't this fascinating? How off this W down here, price expanded to hit that 4.669, huge rejection, and then went all the way to the 8.77 level before then rejecting and coming back down to this 4.669. I think it's fascinating how that drawn forever ago actually worked. Yeah, I think that makes sense, Cotter. That's why I'm saying be careful, because it could definitely go lower. Okay. So as far as crude oil on a weekly chart, it looks like it's in a bit of an uptrend. We just hit a 9 on the daily. See how we hit this 9 and it's bouncing, and the RSI weekly is uptrending. If we go to a 3-day, it looks like it's turning around. A daily, this would be like basically a long opportunity. You created essentially a W pattern down here, and now you should get your expansion breakout where the energy releases, and you get a push up to about $94 right up here, which is the previous high. I mean, if I reverse this, right, and we look at the fibs, and we go all the way, this is your high and this is your low, your target is right in the 93 area right here. That would be your target for the crude expansion based on 4.669, and then also the fib sell level. So oil is definitely looking like a long here. I would maybe wait for a little, see if I can get a bit of a pullback to kind of squeak in on, and then I would jump into a long. You know, something like this. Maybe I'll show you guys. Just like maybe here, and then you set your stop, of course, below the lows, and our target is up here at 92. 2.6 to 1 risk reward, not too bad. You could set it a little bit below these lows to get a 3.4 to 1 risk reward. Still really good. And that's it. Not a bad trade. Oil looks like it wants to move higher. XLE. Yeah, we can. XLE. Energy. I've got a couple energy ones I want to talk about that I will discuss in the daily brief after party for members only. XLE looking decent weekly, and an uptrend here still, right? No breakdowns yet. Weekly actually would look like this, right? You do that, and then price broke out. It came down, it tagged the trend line, and then you should get that slow reversal to the upside. That's what it's looking like to me. You have a lot of resistance here. Huge ascending triangle. Yeah, I'm just analyzing it the way I normally analyze things. I can see you have this. It looks very bullish to me. And you could say that this is kind of your W area right here. Like that, right? Like that, there, like this, like that. And you could expand to 124. So that goes along with my bullish theory. Okay, if Cotter bought, guys, so that means that this is definitely going higher. I would say Cotter is one of our top traders at TRI. He's had some very impressive picks. So if you wanna follow someone that has some very good picks, I would definitely consider Cotter. Is there somewhere that we can follow all of your picks? Maybe in the TRI member lounge? Perhaps we should create a Cotter trading room where Cotter posts his picks and everyone can see those. Might be something we need to discuss. Because you, sir, have some of the best picks. I think we should make you like an exclusive room. That'd be very beneficial for everyone, including myself. Yeah, the Cotter algo, exactly. We should have Cotter just running a portfolio, public one, or TRI members maybe. Oh God. We also have a little bit of a W in here, right? On the 4 hour, this is kind of a consolidation zone, and if this breaks out, your potential move is to here, right? Like this. 95.8, that would be your first potential move, which makes sense because you take out the highs and it lines up with this 1.618 level. That's going to provide another resistance area. So something to keep in mind on XLE. But yeah, I like the long opportunity. I mean, you could easily jump in on a long right here, set your stop below the lows, and then you can have a first target right here, and that's a 2-to-1 risk reward. And often price will stop here, 2.618. That's another one, 5-to-1. And your final target is going to be all the way up here at this huge expansion level at 124. And you can even, I would lower it a little bit because sometimes it goes short. And that's a 10-to-1 risk reward. It's kind of up to you how long you want to hold the trade. Yeah, I did SPY already. That's the SPX. So you can go back and watch it. That was the first one we did. I always do that first. So that's what I'm looking at for XLE. I think it looks great. Let's get into crypto. I feel like I've talked about the legacy market enough, and most people here love crypto. Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin broke down on a daily chart, right? This is a breakdown for me, which explains. Do you remember who told you about TD first? No, I don't actually remember. You know where I saw Tom DeMark being used first? It was from a guy named, it was like 5 years ago. And I saw, what was his name? I can't remember his name. There was a guy on YouTube I would watch sometimes, and he only did Bitcoin. I don't even think he's like an OG crypto guy. He doesn't talk about, he was a famous like Bitcoin guy. I can't remember his name. He used to go to different places and do like little group get-togethers and talk about crypto and using Tom DeMark all the time. I can't remember, but yeah, it's that guy. So look at this, by the way. We have 7 potential divergence. It was me in a message on TRI. Really? I remember watching someone, yeah, Antonio something. I thought that's who it was. But you can message me on TRI. We can talk about it. Maybe you have the screenshot. It's possible. I don't remember, so long ago. But yeah, it's a great tool that I've spread to everyone. You know, if anyone wants to see, since we're talking about it, this is the one I like to use, Truenomic TD Sequential. So that's the one I recommend to use. It's the best one because I found it provides clear numbers and little flags that don't take up too much of the screen. Okay, let's go to like a weekly of Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on the weekly chart. You can see how we ran into this uptrend line, parallel channel of mine, and we're hitting major resistance. We had a 9 on the Tom DeMark. We're in basically an overbought zone, but Bitcoin loves to be overbought and then just head higher. So potentially we just move higher from here. Something you have to watch here is that the 3-day is starting to break down. This is kind of this is what I would look for. I'd be cautious about Bitcoin shorts until we really break down from here. But on a daily chart, right? If I go to a daily, on the daily, we actually already broke down. And this would be your kind of your short area with a stop right above the highs. And where would you target for your short? Well, probably something like, if you want to be conservative, something like this, right down here at 30,000. That's where Chaos is saying price could go. Yeah, so this is where it, well, you should definitely join. It's free trial. Just consider joining. You could be a member for, if you don't want to pay anything, you could still be in for 30 days. Love to have you back. Glad you watch our public videos. Nice to see you. So this is where I'm looking for Bitcoin to break down to. If it does break down, I mean, you're going to have major support here at 35, but then if 35, obviously, so how this kind of works, let me explain chaos. So if this is your kind of level where you're topping, your expansion goes in 3 stages. You have a 1.618, and then you hit a 2.618, and then 4.669 is kind of the last level of the expansion. It's not always hit, but normally what happens with price action is you get something like this, where price initially breaks down. It hits this 1.618. Sometimes it goes through, and then it oscillates in this zone. Before then, it finally goes to the next one, and then it spends a good amount of time in this zone, and it either reverses or it continues down to this next level, and then you kind of get your price reversal. That's normally how it works in my experience, following and using this form of kind of price prediction with range expansion. Because it's, you have like this, think of it like a spring. You have like this buildup of energy in where price, things are happening. Maybe it doesn't look like much is happening, but big hedge funds and investment firms and stuff are shifting their positions. It takes these large firms a long time to load up on their position without causing huge movements in the market. And then it takes them a long time to sell off those positions. So they have to do it over several days to weeks, which is why the market sits like this, because they're unloading their positions. So in this example, our theory is they are unloading their positions right now and trying to get out at the best prices and then get into shorts. And then and then you'll see the move happen very fast. Boom. Okay. So think of that. What's happening there is it's like a spring loading very slowly, where the positions are shifting. And then as soon as the spring is loaded, somebody just presses a big button, hits a big sell to get price to start moving. And then it's like a snowball, and it'll just quicker until it hits that target where there's some kind of buying support level. So that first support level is going to be here. And then it's going to sit here until they want to move the price down again, which they probably will. And you can see how my 2.618 also lines up with the midpoint of my uptrending parallel channel. See that? It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that all this stuff is lining up, because it's multiple support areas, and a lot of people see this and they put buys at those levels. And that's why this happens. So that's kind of what I'm thinking will happen with Bitcoin. We are very greedy right now in the market. So a pullback would make sense to kind of wash out all of those longs. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. Now, could we push higher? Of course we could, because this weekly, the problem is the weekly chart. The weekly chart is very bullish still. We're high up in this RSI range. I showed you what happened last time, and it just kept going higher. So you are fighting against the stream when you take this short position. And what I mean is that the current higher time frame place that prices wants to go to is higher, because the stream is we're heading upstream. So think of that as the price moving higher. And you're now, by shorting, you're fighting against the stream. But what we're assuming is that the stream is going to like stop and pull back for a bit. Just take a breath, take a break, before then it continues in the direction it wants to go in. Hopefully that analogy kind of makes sense. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Maybe we can look at, we're kind of running out of time. Let's see. We've got like a couple minutes left. All right, I'll leave it as a free-for-all. What do you guys want to look at? Pick one crypto, and I'll look at it really quick before we go to the private stream. One crypto coin. Anybody? Otherwise, I'll just look at, you know what? Let's just look at total 3. Total 3 is everything in crypto except for Ethereum and Bitcoin. So all of your other coins except for Ethereum and Bitcoin. This looks pretty good. I want to see this weekly breakdown. Or sorry, it's a daily. So this daily has not broken down yet. It actually looks like it's almost putting in a W. So potentially, price could move higher. See this? This is actually an ABCD, where on average, your shitcoins could potentially have a range expansion all the way up an extra 24%, which for some coins could be 50 or 100%. So that's what that's looking like for now. These look good. While Bitcoin looks like it wants to pull back, this looks like it wants to move higher. But the problem is that if Bitcoin pulls back, generally shitcoins dump too. So something to keep in mind. But for now, price looks good here. This is if I have a bunch of random coins, I would hold them here, and I would only sell if we broke through this 50-day moving average. I'm actually going to set an alert on that. All right, I'm going to set alert on the break of these highs. Because I don't like to watch this stuff all the time. Sometimes I don't check it for 2 or 3 days. Gazillion bears who missed the pump all trying to get in 31K mark. So I think we need to go higher first to entice them first before big correction down. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible we could get a big push up and then a huge reversal. Can happen very, very, very quickly. And that would be beneficial. So let me go back to Bitcoin. That would be beneficial. Again, you see how price keeps taking out? Like, look. See how price keeps taking out these highs? Right here was basically right above the highs. Here you had it, and then you had one higher. See how it's like a wick? It's because that's the selling ceiling. They just have to go a little bit above the previous high to stop everyone out and collect a huge supply before then price rolls over again. Now, there's no reason why you can't get another move or spike. Bitcoin loves to do this kind of stuff. Wait, no, I didn't want that. You could get some kind of spike like, damn, why is this? Wait a second, guys. Big spike like this all the way up here, 40,000 to entice everyone. And then just a big reversal. And then that would be your rollover period. Very possible scenario that could happen. It would be very, very, very crypto-esque to do that because that provides maximum fuckery, maximum liquidity grab. That's why they would do that. Let's look at a weekly really quick. Let's see where. I mean, you can also see how the resistance is here. The next level is kind of right up here. So there's 40,500. So if they really wanted to go up here and grab a lot of liquidity, they could go to this 40,500. But it would have to be a quick reversal again. That's normally how it happens. Max pain, exactly. RNDR. Okay, let's look at RNDR, and then we're going to switch to the Afterparty. RNDR. All right. Let's see here. Let me see. Looking good. I mean, on a weekly chart, it looks very bullish. I don't see any pullback here. RNDR looking great. It looks very bullish to me. I mean, I don't see anything that would suggest a pullback. What was the expansion here? The original chaos levels. So that was basically your, let me go to a weekly. It'll provide a little bit clearer picture. What the hell? Why did that not follow me over? Let's check the visibility on this one. Daily. And I want this. Okay. Let's go to a weekly. All right. So the top is there. Bottom is here. Does that line up? Yeah. So 1.618 is here. 2.618 is here. I do think it needs to go a little bit. Let's go to all the way to there, to that low. That lines things up a little bit better. So then your target is actually 4. You see how we're respecting all these levels? 3.59, 2.618, 1.618. It does go through them a little bit. It's not exact, but is respecting those levels. So 4.669 is up here at 442. And how much is that? Is that a 20 something % increase? So yeah, that's a 30% increase. Now on total 3, where it's excluding Ethereum, excluding Bitcoin, we saw the average increase would be 24%. So it makes sense that RNDR would do 30%, especially since it's a name that a lot of people seem to like. We could also look at this, right? So this is potentially your ABCD, right, like that. And then on the other side, you're like this, and it's pointing to almost $4. So somewhere I could see it taking out these levels, so a little bit above $4. I could see it going to. This would be a nice area to consider unloading on. There's no divergence in price yet, though. If I go to a daily chart, yeah, it's just kind of sitting up here. When price just sits up here, it means that it's getting ready to have a continuation rally. I could also say like this, something like that. You can see how that ABCD also basically lines up with our expansion target of the final chaos level, right? See that? See how that all lines up? It's great. It's like poetry when everything just works together. All the different indicators, both momentum and price structure and harmonics, they all kind of work together to give you a picture that is similar to I guess a completed painting or story where the final ending all lines up. Yeah, so this is what I'm seeing for RNDR, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit to have that happen. And that goes along with the Bitcoin theory of that spike up. So I could see the other names doing that too, and that would complete the expansion from these lows. That would basically say, okay, the move is done. And that's when I'd start looking for potential shorts and to fully exit my positions. That would make a lot of sense to me. Okay, so I think that it's been 35 minutes. We're going to call it for the free show. And we're going to jump into the daily brief after party for members only. If you're not a member, consider signing up for a free trial. And you can ask me whatever you want there. You can ask me what's going on in Thailand. You can ask me about any crypto coin you want to talk about, any stock you want to talk about. Forest, we will talk about it in the after party. Just save that question and we'll talk about it there. So make sure you get your butt into the daily brief after party, because that is where all the secrets are shared. This is just a fun preview. We're just going over the big names. But if you want to see the names that are going to go 100%, 200%, that kind of stuff, that's where we talk about it. All right. Hope you guys have, if you're not going to join the free trial because you're lazy or something silly, then have a great weekend. Try not to be too lazy. Get off your butt. Go exercise or something like that. Yeah, smash the like button. I never really say that. Not much of a salesman with the like button. I just hope you guys have a great weekend. And if I don't see you in the lounge, I don't see you in the daily brief after party, then I will see you here, same time, same place next week. All right. Bye, everybody.